begins to give you different thought patterns. And then when you start assessing a value to that thought pattern, so you say to yourself, I want to become a business owner. And I want to be a business owner because I want the freedom of time for me and my family. And that becomes very valuable to you. So you put an assessment against that. And with the assessment, now you understand I need to take 4, 5, 6 hours a week to work toward this goal of being a business owner. Then you start executing. The nice thing about this system is by the time you get back to thinking again, you are thinking on an elevated level. So as it goes in rotation clockwise, it also gains momentum. Now, in the middle of this taxing system, there are two principles we must also understand. Every single day, we are either repairing or we are preparing. So your decisions help you understand and make it very clear to us, either we're fixing something that got broke or we're preparing for something to accomplish and get victory over as time goes on. Now, when you think about a car, you think about maybe clothes, education, relationships. So if you're in a relationship and it's a romantic relationship and the person you're with can get the same thing from anyone else, what makes you different? If your employer can get the same kind of service level from all the other employees, what makes you any different? In the relationship and also in the business, how do you get security? You see, when you think about significance, you must understand that in an abundant world, you win by significance, not utility. You see, a car can take you from point A to point B, and you start it up and you go. But nothing really significant about that. But today's cars, as you get in, they have the massager for your back. They got the warmers for the seats. You got a GPS in the car. You got AM, FM. You have satellite radio. Now you got Wi-Fi. You have DVD players in the car. You got refrigerators in the car because everyone is trying to find a significance of product. So if you live in a country that puts a lot of value on significance of product, that means that you and I got to ask myself, you have to ask yourself, we have to ask ourselves, what in the world is our significance? If you think significance doesn't really matter, let's go back to a book. Let's go back to ancient script. It's been written that this young man was walking about the earth and he died. And I wasn't there, but it was written and I happen to believe it. And it said on the third day he rose up. Now, if you understand anything about Jewish culture, a woman found this resurrected Messiah in this tomb. And she went back and told everyone else that he had risen and left the tomb. The point to the story. The woman happened to be a Samaritan. The person that was raised was Jewish. Now, what's interesting is Samaritans and Jews didn't get along together, much less Jews did not have respect for women. So in order to get the message out, to get somebody to listen, it had to be significant enough for the messenger to get someone else's attention. So it was quite contrary than being an apostle or another disciple. It was a woman, it was a Samaritan, all the things contrary to the cultural beliefs of this Jewish system that says he has arisen on the third day. That made Mary Magdalene very significant. Her name written down in the annals of history. When history talks about you, what's it going to say? I mean, when somebody talks about you, because they're going to talk about you, what are they going to say? How did you use your time? You have 1,440 minutes per day, and you find that the very successful have the same amount of time as the technically insolvent, or we call them broke. So what really is the difference? What are they saying about you right now? When you look at time, there's a quote that I want to read from you from the book, The Time Tactics of Very Successful People. I mark it because it had a profound effect on me and hoping it may spark some thought or interest in you when it comes to time. And so as time gets longer, our bodies start getting older, and so henceforth I got to put the glasses on. So it says, sometimes you'll hear people complain that life hasn't been fair to those who worked hard all their life and died poor. Life isn't fair or unfair. It simply favors societies and individuals who learn to exploit energy efficiently. Who learn to exploit energy efficiently. Remember, significance, energy, and focus. So you have to learn to hone in your skill of significance. What is it going to take right now for you to understand that you're able to live a life that you always wanted to live? But there are certain things that have to happen, certain disciplines, because there are two kinds of pains in life, remember? There's the pain of discipline and there's the pain of regret. So you understand, you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to, it's cold outside. Everyone else is sleeping, but you're getting up, you're washing your face, you're brushing your teeth because you're going to the gym, because you're working on this vessel. You go to the gym, you work out, you got to work a 10-hour day, you got to get something to eat. It's a long day, but over a period of time, you see your body changing, you see you have more stamina, you see you like how you look because you are having the pain of discipline, which is a reward. But then you start substituting apples for Snickers, water for liquor, good association for bad association. And over a period of time, you start parking closer and closer to your job, not walking as far. And then you have the pain of regret because you should have, you could have, but you didn't. So if you can change your life right now and you have the tools available where you can, but you don't, then who's to blame? You see, our focus is understanding that we know I've made a lot of mistakes in my lifetime. And if I live long enough, I got a lot more to make. I just learned to absorb them as tools for lessons, to learn from them, to examine them, to understand why I am a certain way, to understand where my thoughts are a certain way, to understand what kind of conversations I want to be engaged upon. What kind of recreation do I really want to have? And recreation really means to recreate. So when you finish an engagement of doing something, you should feel better. You should feel edified when you get finished. When you begin to think about these things for yourself, then you start thinking about how you can get things better in your life. If you don't know what your significance is, ask somebody. You got friends, you got relatives. Ask them, hey, when you see me, what are some of the good characters you see coming out in me? What are some of the things you think I do well? And write them down. And then when you write them down, decide how you can learn more about them, become a student of them,